On November 4th, TF2 secretly got a massive update to its map-making tools. It wasn't mentioned on the patch notes. Instead, it's hidden here in the beta tab, VScript Test. But what is VScript, and why is this such a big deal? TF2 maps are created using a program called Hammer. Hammer gives you the tools to do fancy things, but these fancy things have to be done through its very restrictive logic entities. They're basically predefined building blocks that carry out one specific action. If I wanted to have a door that opened after 2 shots, then closes after 5 shots, there isn't an existing logic entity that can handle that, so you would need to build it out of smaller logic entities that you do have. So first, you need a counter to count the number of times the button has been hit. Then you need to create another entity to take the counter's number and see if it's greater than 1. When this condition has been met, you then feed it into another compare entity, and this time, check if the number is less than 5. Finally, you can trigger the door to open. You might think that this isn't so bad, but this is the mess needed to simply control the respawn times on player destruction. If scores are equal, it's 6 seconds. If the difference in scores is less than 50%, it's 8 and 4 seconds. Greater than 50, it's 12 and 0. For something so simple, you need this chunk of logic to track the score of each team. This guy to signal when the scores are even. This guy checks if one team is more than 20% of the way to winning. This guy calculates how big a team's lead is, but doesn't actually know what score is for which team. So it simply yells, "The lead is big," or "The lead is small." These guys listen for that announcement, and finally, appropriately adjust the respawn times. So this is one part why VScript is a massive improvement. VScript allows you to directly write code. Instead of hacking together logic entities to perform 1 plus 1, you can just write a few lines of code in a VScript file and save hours of pain. But it gets even better than this. TF2 has been updated to let VScript files access almost anything in the game. Previously, mappers basically only had access to changing game rules and spawning objects. Things like the cough timer, if the intel is neutral or team specific, spawning health packs and Halloween bosses. That's about it. With VScript, it's easier to describe what you can't do. The only restrictions are memory access and blacklisted console commands that mess with the server, like crashing it or changing its name. In just 2 weeks, since VScript became a public beta, TF2 mappers have already created some very cool things. But there is an elephant in the room. All of these things could already be done with source mod, so what's the big deal? The big difference is that VScript is seamlessly packaged into the map file. Source mod plugins can't be packaged with the map file, so it's always an extra thing you have to download and know how to install. Having everything bundled into the map file means distributing your map can be done entirely through the Steam Workshop. And if it can go on the Steam Workshop, it can be officially added into casual. If you enjoyed Crasher last Halloween, imagine the crazy new game modes community mappers can get officially added into the game. Valve would never add a map that required a source mod plugin, but VScript, that's no problem. So that's why VScript is honestly probably one of the biggest updates to TF2 ever. To end the video, here are a few clips of what people have done with VScript in other Valve games. Oh, and they also fixed Func Monitor.
Cool technology